Hi parents, Miss Michelle back again. I hope you're surviving and even getting closer to your family as we're still social distancing. A few things we want to remind you of that we do with your babies every week in the nursery when we're here is we just have a mirror so you can show them the mirror, show them their face in the mirror, and just say, I'm special, God made me special, and show them their face in the mirror as you do that. Just keep repeating that because we all know being repetitive with younger kids just helps them to remember. And then get your cylinder. If you've already made one, go ahead and get that out. And if not, I just used an oatmeal box, covered it with some bright colored paper, and you just go, who does Jesus love? Who does Jesus love? God loves you. And then, of course, say your child's name when you do that. And then also, we continue with our statements of faith as we're changing their diapers and rocking them or playing with them. And we just say, God says, you are stronger than you know. God says you are forgiven of mistakes. God says you are respectful of others. God says you are good listeners. And above all, God says you are a child of God. Hi kids, Miss Michelle back to talk to you today about a man named Zacchaeus. Have you ever been in a crowd and maybe there were tall people just like these tall blocks, and maybe you were the short person just like this little blue block? Well, if the tall people were standing in front of you, you wouldn't be able to see what was going on, could you? Well, that's kind of like the man in our story today named Zacchaeus. Let's see what happened in our story. Zacchaeus was a very, very rich man. His job was collecting taxes from the people. So that meant he had to go to all the people and collect some money from them. Sometimes Zacchaeus was not a very nice man, and he took more money than he was supposed to, and he kept it for himself. Well, one day, Jesus was coming to town, and see Jesus right over here? And all the people gathered around, and Zacchaeus couldn't see. It was just like a parade. If you're at a parade, and if you're in the back of the crowd, and the tall people are in front of you, you can't see the parade going by, can you? Well, that was just like Zacchaeus. He was trying to jump up and see, and he couldn't see. The people wouldn't let him through because he was not a nice man. So then Zacchaeus got an idea, and he thought, I'm going to get ahead of the crowd, and I'm going to climb up this tall tree and sit up there so I can see Jesus coming by. Well, Jesus walked by, and he saw Zacchaeus up there, and he said, what are you doing in that tree? He says, I want to go to your house today, and I want to sit and talk to you about God's love. So Zacchaeus jumped down out of the tree, and Jesus met him over at his house, and they had some dinner to eat, and Jesus explained to Zacchaeus how he was supposed to be a nice man and not take everybody's money. And Zacchaeus said, I'm sorry. Will you forgive me? And Jesus said, of course I will. So Zacchaeus got a great idea. He thought he was going to gather up all that money, and he was going to take it back and give it back to the people, and he gave them back more than what he even took. Wow, isn't that a great story about how God forgives us, even if we're not doing good things? So Zacchaeus, he came along and he took people's money, didn't he? That was his job. He was supposed to take people's money. So let's pretend you're sitting around me and this is your money. And Zacchaeus came and said, I need to take some of your money, and I'm going to put it in my tax bag, and I'm going to take your money, and I'm going to put it in here because that's my job. I'm supposed to take the money. And so he put it in, and the people gave it to him because they were supposed to give him money for the taxes. But then Zacchaeus thought he was going to be sneaky, and he thought, I'm going to take all their money. All their money. Well, it wouldn't even fit in his bag, so he had to get a basket, and he took all of their money, took all of it away from them. It wasn't very nice, was it? He took their money, and they were so sad. And he took it and he hid it in his house. But then what happened in our story? Jesus went to his house, and Zacchaeus said, I'm so sorry for what I did. So what did he do? He took that money, and he took the money that he had in his bag too, and he gave that money back to the people. And he gave them more money back, and he gave them more, and he gave them 4 times more than what he took. And that made the people so happy, and now Zacchaeus was their friend. Isn't that a great story? If we say we're sorry for doing wrong, God forgives us. That's just awesome. Now, you know what we're going to do today? We're going to make some crafts so we can remember what Zacchaeus did in our story. Can you guys run and get some Play-Doh? All right, you got your Play-Doh? What we're going to do is we're going to make a tree. What did Zacchaeus climb? He didn't climb a ladder. He climbed a tree. So can you make a tree out of Play-Doh? I bet you can. So here's the tree trunk, and then we make the top of the tree. And what did Zacchaeus do? He climbed right up on that tree, didn't he? Now I made a teeny tiny tree. Maybe you guys can make a big one with all of your Play-Doh. Something else we can do to help remember is you can have a snack. Because what did Jesus do? He went to Zacchaeus' house, and they had dinner together, didn't they? So you can get some plates out, and you can have a snack. So you can have some crackers and maybe some Fruit Loops. Do you think Zacchaeus had Fruit Loops? He might have. And you can have a snack just like Zacchaeus had a snack with Jesus. And then to help you remember even more, go get a paper plate and have your mommy help you cut it to look like a tree. You got your trunk, and up here's going to be the top. And then you take green pieces of paper. Can you cut up some green pieces of paper just like this? And then glue them to the top of your tree. And then you can make a Zacchaeus. Do you have any pipe cleaners? You can make a Zacchaeus out of pipe cleaners. Now you know pipe cleaners come like this. They come long and they're bendy. So maybe your mom can help you make a Zacchaeus, make his head, and you've got some arms, and you've got his legs, and look at there. We've got a Zacchaeus that can climb up and sit in your tree. There you go. Just remember, if you do anything bad, ask God to forgive you, and you're going to be okay again. Love you lots. Bye.